I've heard of the Last Poets before. I don't know where, I don't know what rap documentary I was listening to, but even within the last year, I've just heard about Gil Scott. And I think Gil Scott is one of the most prolific writers of rhythm and poetry that I've ever seen. The way he comes across as all his words mean something. And we, as hip hop artists today, we're trying to get it back somewhat. It's coming back more in the conscious, like J. Cole styles of rap, but rap originally was supposed to be something to communicate revolution. So that's why Gil Scott had like revolution would not be televised amongst these movements right here. You're talking about the pioneers of rap here, but rap existed in other forms too. You can see it a little bit in the blues, Isaac Hayes, you know, it's all that. So, but with that being said, we're going to let the guys talk and let's get to it.
I started writing free verse. I mean, in a beatnik verse. The beatniks of the 50s, like, you know, were maybe like the first reference for like this free kind of thing, but they didn't have an impact on the world, but they had this jazz form. They would maybe have a bass up there and they would be talking to it.
You know, life ain't nothing but a river moving through an empty hand.
Rap was a certain way of speaking, a certain way of delivery, but it was, like I say, on a folk level, and I was concerned about politicizing it.
It's in us too.
That's crazy. On a folk level. Now, we never talking about the different levels of rap, but you're talking about it on, he never wanted to politicize rap. Now, this is one of the earliest renditions of rap we've heard, but I'm very surprised because these guys were a part of the, like, civil rights movement, you know? So let's see where he's going.
It was a certain way of speaking, a certain way of delivery, but it was, like I say, on a folk level, and I was concerned about politicizing it.
It's in us to have to say what we really feel and have to bring out what's really bothering us.
Yeah.
Amiri Baraka was the father of the black arts movement. He was well-educated, but he was also just a genius.
Rise up. Future of the black genius, spirit reality moves from Crush Roach back, from Dead Snakehead, from Funeral in Slow Motion, from Dancing Teeth and Coward Tip, from Jibber Jabber Pat-me Bar Sandwich. When the brothers strike, niggas, come out. Come out, niggas.
The late 50s and the early 60s, that was a very hot time.
At that time, it's all new, it doesn't exist yet. They say black people don't like poetry.
Wow.
So I say, well, they'll like mine.
To all your sons at the Pentagon, a haiku from Chairman Mao. Tell them you can't shake the shaper, baby. No matter how hard you try, you better look out for the blue gorilla.
Kane was a consummate performer. Boom, boom, bam, bam. And when it was over, it was like I was awe-stricken by him. Me coming to read some poetry? Oh, man, you don't understand. I just started writing. I'm not going to get up in front of the people and read. See, right. No, that's what it's about. It's about the community. It's about the neighborhood, about bringing out what people have in their hearts to do.
Now, see, let's talk about that for a second. Bringing out what people have in their hearts. This is the essence of music in general. So when we're talking about how rap changed in the early 90s to more party music, going into the gangster rap era and the bling bling era coming after that, it's getting away. It's a bastard child of what it was supposed to be. This is a way for black people to vent back then. Like, so I can understand why guy said he didn't want to politicize it, but then at the same time, the other guy was like, yo, something is in us to bring out what we feel. And this is the cry of our hearts, no matter what genre of music you're listening to. So I think what the music industry's purpose is to get music away from being conscious and just to get us and let us be entertained, you know?
I was just like, I've got to put this out there in the best manner because it may not even be good.
Raining sorrow and tears, tears, burning tears, raining sorrow and burning tears, tears burning, tears burning.
Kane was looking to start a group. And so we agreed that we would read together.
I knew what I wanted, in the beginning. And because while David Nelson was a poet, and I was a poet, but and I would call David the poet of the group, because I mean he had that spirit of a poet. I mean his work, I love his work very much. And Abi O'Doon wasn't a poet at the time, but he had this great voice. This young man with energy and ambition.
Say blackness and raw. Say color of earth. Can I talk to you? Say what? Hey, evening flower. Hey, soft maroon lady.
Kane was smart. Kane had poetry. Kane had great poetry. Kane said some things poetically that just stuck in my... Say blackness, say color of earth, say soft maroon lady. Can I talk to you? Can I stretch in the soil of your hair?
Our first performances were for ourselves, and it went on for weeks and months. You play an instrument, and you practice it, and nothing's happening, but you know the scale. And then one day, music comes out of it. And I'm saying one day, music came out of this effort.
Nat Turner, Sojourner Truth, Martin Luther King, Malcolm, and El-Hajj Malik Shabazz.
What's funny is that they're not rhyming. And most of the time in the essence of poetry is not rhyming, right? But I wonder, like, are they going to say, like, when it became rhythm and rhyme? Like, yeah. But not all poetry rhymes, though.
This park in Harlem, Mount Morris Park at the time was the name of it. It was May 19th. It was Malcolm's birthday, 1968. It was the first official time that we were a group before a public.
Doom showed up, and he was very excited. After we had that little session, he said, yeah, I got some poetry.
We didn't come out of a vacuum. We were a part of a whole series of things that were taking place. You know, Curtis Mayfield was writing songs, People Get Ready. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on in terms of music. I mean, the whole Motown thing was happening, and now we want to be a conscious voice out here amongst all these other creative black voices that are being heard.
The musicians were sitting around the park. And when we got ready to go on, we said, come on and play behind us. And they said, what are we going to play? I said, play what you feel. And so the musicians were improvising behind us.
And you, Malcolm, are a part of me. I ride on rough waves of your words.
We had something to say. And so the very boldness of our existence coming out verbally was an act of poetry.
We had heard the chant by the Howard students who had taken over Howard University, and they had done this chant, are you ready, nigga? You've got to be ready. I have a poem called Are You Ready? We were going to improv on my poem. We were going to go up chanting, Are you ready? And then I was going to break into Are you ready? And then people were going to interject something into the poem. Are you ready, black people? Black man, black woman, black youth, are you ready? Are you really, really ready? Are you ready to call the wrath of black gods, black magic to do your bidding? Are you ready to use whatever is necessary? Are you ready to love? Are you ready to groove? Are you ready to listen to all the beautiful black voices, the beautiful black feeling, the beautiful black waves moving in beautiful air? Ready to love black, always loving black, are you ready? And then we began spontaneously rotating, the three of us.
Abi O'Doon got stronger, David got stronger, the audience got mellow, and we started to party with poetry.
Then we went over to my apartment following, and then we had our first gig, which was NYU. And there was Abi O'Doon, Kane, and myself, plus a drum. We took a conga drum, and we set it there, and we said, maybe someone will come up and play it. He just said it there.
Dude, that's crazy. Oh, that was such a short. Oh, man, I needed more of that. Oh, my goodness, yo. I got into it too early. Oh, my goodness, dude. That was such a good history lesson, man. I'm going to post this up to the members tab. But definitely this group is the essence of what hip-hop was the start of, not necessarily what it became. It was supposed to be, I believe hip hop was supposed to be a respectable art form on the same level as classical music, you know? But now we got dudes on Instagram rapping to piano ballads, rapping to violins now. So, hey, sometimes you always got a way of circling back and getting back to the beginning, right? So with that being said, shout out to the subscriber who requested this one, man, and catch you guys at another one, all right?